Hi, I've got your plan open in Pro 2016. You got to change your signature. I think your signature says 2015, and this is created in 2016. Anyway, the first thing I noticed about your plan was that your roof baselines are misplaced in several places. So I'm going to click on this roof plane and just move it off the wall here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the baseline. And this is a pitch indicator right here, a little perpendicular. Let me turn off these roof labels. Oh yeah, all these pitches don't match also, and they probably should match. If you want 712, you should probably just change the pitch. I mean, that's an odd pitch. I don't know why you did that. Make it 7, and we'll make this one 7. Because most architecture follows symmetry. I mean, all of it doesn't, but a lot of it, traditional architecture does. And you set this one, I think, to 812. Let's see. 812. Okay. So now I'm going to take this roof plane and use the point-to-point move tool. Oops, where is it? There it is. And we'll move that baseline from there to there, where it belongs. It belongs right on the edge of the framing. That's where it's supposed to go. That's where the load of the roof is transferred to the structural walls. So in doing so, I put that in a little bit too far into that wall, so I'm going to bring it out. And the next thing I want to do is I want these all three to be, if not the same pitch, then the same baseline height. Let's see what the baseline height of this one is, because I'm just arbitrarily starting with that one. And it's 129 3/8. So let's see what this one's set to. It's totally different, see? I think if this one's in the right place, I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to just lock the pitch temporarily and copy this value here so as to apply it to this roof plane as well. The way I'm going to do that is lock the pitch, and then see, I can't change the value with this radial button here in next to this baseline height thing. So that's the reason I did that. So now these two are the same baseline height, but not the same pitch. And this one, let's see, where's its baseline? I don't even see it. You drag it over here. Oh, there it is. And down here. And these things are malleable. You can change that. They should be right in front of the eave that they're associated with. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm going to reselect this and move it back over here in place. Excuse me. And point-to-point move that where it's supposed to go. Okay. Now all of these are set to the same baseline height. And I'm going to join them again in a new unit of time. So we adjust this edge here. We're getting this mismatch here because of this one's 7 and this one's. Let me take a look at this in an overview camera. Maybe there's some reason you did that. I don't see any reason that they shouldn't be the same pitch, because we want these eaves to match, and okay. I'm going to leave that camera open and come back to it. I'm going to take this one here and change it to 8. And the baseline height's blocked, so that's fine. I don't have to move the radio button to make that change. And we'll try joining them again. And keeping in mind that all 3 roof planes now are the same pitch and have the same baseline height. Okay. And then we just drag that up there and let it snap to the corner. You should get a nice clean corner like that. Well, it's not very clean. That's the way it should look. I'm going to reconnect these. The joining point's going to change a little bit because they're going from 712. And then, let's see, we got a good corner here. There's still something wrong because these overhangs should be the same, and they're not. See, this is more pronounced over here. Let me check, see what's happening. 812. Oh, I see. The baseline's not where I thought it was. Should be at 116 and 916. Okay, these two are, this one isn't. So this is actually, excuse me, a good lesson for you. I'm going to lock the pitch and change the baseline. (116) and 9/16. That's the reason I had the overhang was off, because the baselines were off. And we'll connect it again. And then drag it up and connect the corner. Now we have symmetric overhang and symmetric. Okay, let's go back to the camera so you can see it. See, I cleaned that up. I'm going to do the same thing with this. But these roofs are so simple, you should be able to just auto-generate those without any problem. I don't know quite why you chose to do them manually. But being a new guy, you know, you didn't know everything that needs to be done. So, and what's important and what's not important relative to working on manual roofs. So you can see at a glance now that these baselines are off. Now click on this roof plane edge and move this down so you can see the baseline right there, and it needs to be right there. We'll point to point move that. I'm not moving the eave, I'm moving the baseline. And this one's way off. And we'll point to point move that one into the correct position. Then the next thing after I do that, I'm going to check the baseline heights and the pitches to see if they're the same. I think on a roof like this, they should be. And there's no problems going on here, but this is the thing that stuck out like a sore thumb to me. There's that baseline, and it was misplaced. And it's okay as a new user, you wouldn't know by default that that's where the baseline goes, but I've done it wrong many times, and so by experience I know that okay, there's a problem here because these should match. It might be just a matter of dragging that up like I did the others. Whoops, what happened? But I'll check that in a moment. Excuse me. Okay, that's shaping up all right. Okay, it looks like all four of those. Now just for the exercise, let's see, they're 226 and 5/16, and the pitch is 8. Okay, that's the same. Okay, that's the same. Good. And this is probably the same. And I know that because in plan view, you can see that the eaves come together properly. Now, the next problem is this little dashed line here. You might ask, excuse me, what does that mean? Well, that's on a layer called ceiling break lines. I'm going to go over here to the C's and point it out. Right there, ceiling break lines. You can't select these things, but you can turn them on and turn them off globally by just checking or unchecking this layer here. But what this thing means is more important. I'm going to do a backflip cross section from here to here, so you can see what that indicates. You can see that. See, there's the baseline of the wall and the roof right there, or that's the ceiling height. The ceiling height's set up here, so it's coppering the ceiling because of the slant of the roof, and it's probably just the ceiling height is probably just misset. And this garage here below looks like it's below the ground. Anyway, that's something else. So if I want to control that, let's open the dialog box and see what the ceiling height is set to. And we're on the second floor, so apparently you have the default ceiling height is 112.5 inches, which is kind of an odd figure. But see, that's too low based on where the roof planes are. So apparently you drew these roof planes and then changed the ceiling height, or that's what I would guess. And go back to an elevation camera. And if I didn't want this coppered ceiling, maybe you do want a coppered ceiling, I don't know. But if you wanted to get rid of it, you have to lower the ceiling height, and you can figure that out by using the measuring tools here. Measure from the floor, and that's where the ceiling height probably should. That's kind of low at 7'6". So I don't know what you planned here, but it's not working. Or unless you wanted a coppered ceiling, and then it is working. But if we wanted to get rid of that copper, we need to raise the roof planes up to here. Let's measure from here to here. Measure it. We have to raise them up about, excuse me, 22 inches. So I'm going to do that just to show you how. I'm going to shift select all the roof planes. And then using the transform replicate tool, I'm going to move those roof planes up 22 inches. And we'll go back to the camera. And see, now I have no coppered ceiling, but I had to raise. See, that's how you can make them agree. The auto roof generator just follows each room's setting as to its ceiling height. And that's what caused that. I guess you change your mind after you've built roofs or something. But see, now it's properly placed for the roof ceiling height, the ceiling height of this room. And maybe it's misset and this is wrong, but I mean, I have nothing to go by. So that kind of cleaned that up. And at least in terms of appearance, I don't know what you intended. Oh, you want decks over here. Okay. That ought to be pretty simple. Let's go over there. That's on the second floor, I think. Hadn't noticed those before. And of course, I don't think you would want to draw a wall at that angle. Let's straighten that out with the parallel perpendicular tool. I don't think that had anything to do with why the deck wasn't building. I tell you what's wrong was, oh, this wall here must be not properly programmed. Yeah, right there. No room definition. So this wall cannot contribute to making a room with this set this way. Let's uncheck that. And I assume this is going to be a room, so let's check the other walls. They were originally auto-generated, and that's what auto-generated walls look like. They're programming. Yes, here's another one. See, now with that changed, now you can get a room dialog box in here, and you can get a room dialog box over here. See? That's why you couldn't get a deck. And then now you have to tell the software that you want a deck there. So you can use deck, but it'll create posts underneath it once you create a terrain plane. So you might want to use balcony. I don't know, that's up to you. See, now you actually have a room there. I'm going to do the same thing here. And see, before, this wall here that would help creating a room here was marked no room defined, so it couldn't define a room, and you couldn't do anything with it until that was fixed. Okay, let's go back to that camera that's open. Bingo. Now, and if you wanted, with balconies, they're going to have a 4-inch floor and so forth. So I'm going to open the dialog box of this balcony and go to the Structure tab. Floor structure, see, right there. Well, it's set to 12 and 5/8, but it's not showing right now. I guess that's about right for a deck. I mean, a balcony. So we'd have to go over here. Let's see, I think, where's that setting? Let me show you what happens if we would call it a deck. Change from balcony to deck. And you'll see, you get the post. Maybe you need the post, I don't know. But then you can click on this deck and build deck framing, and it'll build the deck framing. But if you want a balcony and just have it cantilevered out there, then you wouldn't call it a deck. But let's call it a deck. I just wanted to show you the difference in and that these names actually are programming commands. Build deck framing. Okay. That's more, looks like a deck. And I'm not quite sure where you're going with this. And you can see that these upper walls don't align. See those reveals there? Let's click on this wall here. Hit the tab key. Where's the tab key? I'll hit the tab key on my keyboard. And okay. And right there, see, that shows that it's out of alignment. It's close, but it's not aligned with the floor below. Okay, see how that got rid of that gap? Let's do this one. You click on the wall, and then you hit the tab key on your keyboard. And then, well, that one's not showing up like this one did. Let's check this one. Huh, they look like they're slightly out of alignment, see, because of these reveals here. Let's go over here and just do this manually. And turn on the reference display, and it makes it easier to see. These two walls, floor to floor, are not in alignment, so I'm going to hit the arrow key and move it up screen a little bit, or try to. There, I got it to show. Sometimes it automatically shows, sometimes it doesn't. Then you can bet that this is properly, this wall here and this wall are properly aligned. Let's check this one. I'm just going to use the arrow key and move it to the left a little bit. There. I turn that on, then hit that, and that lines it up. And you probably need to go around the entire plan since you didn't know about that. Yeah, this one's not aligned. And there's that indicator right there, align with wall below. And you need to do this sort of thing before you build roofs, because if you do it after you build roofs, well then, especially where you have 2 stories, then the roofs will be off, because the software is just a mechanical device and it just follows what you did. And if you what you did is wrong, it'll make the roofs wrong. A lot of these walls are out of alignment. That one's okay. Okay. Looks like this one's out of alignment. Yeah, sure enough, see it? And you don't have to worry about this sort of thing on the 2nd floor. And where there's no corresponding wall below on the 1st floor, then you're not going to get this automatic indication. Only where the walls line up floor to floor. Okay, I could tell visually that one was off. It's still off. And sometimes the walls don't match in let's see. No, same wall. This is not supposed to, I don't think you would use an exterior wall here, but they do match. Oh, one's facing one way and one's facing the other way. So the framing is lining up, but not the exterior layers. That makes sense. Okay. I'll get all this sort of thing sorted out before I build roofs, because your model won't look right and it won't be right, because if you don't take these steps. Looks like these walls are lined up, maybe not this one. Yeah, sure enough, it's off a little bit. Yeah, and only through the, see, the baseline's now off a little bit because of that. I didn't pick it up earlier. I'm going to move this baseline from there to there. And it didn't move. I guess I'm going to have to go in a little bit closer. Move that baseline there to right there where it's supposed to be. And then you have to tie it back in, because that's going to throw off the ridges a little bit. In this case, a very little bit, but some. Okay, that ought to take care of that. Okay, there's a lot of other things wrong with this model, are in error, you might say, but I don't know what your intentions are, so I can't really go any further. But I hope this helps you in the future. Thank you. See, I want to save and then close, go to meeting.